me every day. Lion usual. That's Finn, huh? Finn, I'm gonna call you Finn, is that alright? Finn. Yeah. Finn, I like that. I'm Cole Dameron. Good to meet you, Cole. Good to meet you too, Finn.
Welcome, Masters and Padawans, to episode 601 of Full of Sith. It's me, Brian Young, at DragonCon, if you couldn't tell, because it's loud.
Yeah.
And I'm with Holly.
Yeah. I'm not the loud part.
Which is a switch.
Listen, shut your mouth.
But still the salty part.
I am a little salty today. I apologize.
I like to think of it as savory.
Savory is an herb that I grow, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm just... DragonCon is a lot. It's always been a lot, but it's gotten so big, and, like, as a commuter who pops down here, it's a little more arduous than it used to be. So it's... I just get a little crowded out.
And you came down on parade day.
I did, because somebody said I would do a panel. I'm not sure how that happened.
We had fun on that panel.
We did. I'm just saying, somebody said I would do a morning panel on a Saturday.
I didn't say we'd do a morning panel. I said we'd do a panel. We did our trailers panel and ads panel that we usually do at Celebration.
Yeah.
And we've been offering to do it here at DragonCon for many years, and they've never taken us up on it. And finally they did this year.
Yeah, it was very popular. Brian had to leave partway because he had a cool thing that we'll talk about in a minute. But what you don't know is that after you left, we all kind of just rifled through your hard drive.
Oh, great.
No, we didn't, but we did run a field of the plan of what I would cover, and covered other stuff that was in the same group of videos that we usually talk about, but just ones we hadn't pulled for it because we had time.
Yeah, no, it was... I really love those trailers panels because and ads panels because it's weird how many people haven't just gone down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, I mean, I had two of my friends came to the panel, and they were like, I hadn't seen so many of those ads. And I'm like, how did you miss them all?
Did you show them, because I'd forgotten to and had run out of time before I had to leave, the Yoda
yes.
ramen
yes.
ad?
Yeah, the Yoda ramen ad where he seems oddly angry and is going to destroy us all. The one that one of my friends thought was really interesting was the Denny's Han Solo one. Because I hadn't really thought about it too much, but he's right. He's like, they are playing real sabacc in that ad, which he is a person that comes to my house every month and we play sabacc, so of course that's what he noticed. But yeah, that ad is so good. It has such good production value. It's just almost unconscionable.
We did this panel at Star Wars Celebration London last time, and Brian Herring joined us for it.
Yeah.
And he was talking about being behind the scenes at that panel. Because he was doing puppeteering there on that shoot, yeah. Well, he was behind the scenes for the panel too, but on that shoot and how they were taking it very seriously, and it was just on the movie, on the sets with the costumes and stuff, and they were playing real sabacc on the set, so of course they would be on the Denny's
it was super
shoot.
Yeah, so we went through that. We watched the ad for the Star Wars Holiday Special, which remains like a clear imprint of my personality from childhood. Yeah, we had a lot of fun. We trash talked you. We didn't trash talk you at all. It was all very loving.
I wouldn't blame you if you did, especially since I had to duck out of the panel early.
No, the only trash talk I did, you were in the room for, which is when I said Brian Young is a quitter as you left. That was it.
Yeah, so the music you're hearing in the background is literally 10 floors below us.
Yeah, but the party don't stop at DragonCon.
It doesn't. It really doesn't. But no, it's Saturday, which is probably the worst day to try to record something. But you're not going to be here any other day, so this is when we have to do it.
It's all my fault. Yeah, I'm just up to my eyeballs in work at the moment, so I can't really allocate a ton of time to just hanging out down here. But I'm glad I came. I mean, it's good to see people always. That's like the best part of Dragging Hunt. I think that's part of why the growing crowd is less and less fun for me. It makes it harder and harder to see the people that I actually want to see. But it's fine. And I love seeing everybody be super ebullient and joyous in their nerddom. I'm just old and tired.
Well, I think next time, instead of hanging out at the Marriott, we should move the party to the Westin and go over there. In fact, we just go hang out at the Westin, which is way more chill, way fewer people. And I'm saying this on a podcast, and now everybody's going to go, oh, everybody's at the Westin.
Well, but that's kind of the problem, is that it's so much more chill that the people that you want to run into are probably not over there.
No, that's where all the people I do want to run into are usually. But that's me.
Right.
But, I've already gotten a couple of invitations to go over there specifically, and it's sort of like the Star Wars author bar.
Well, there you go. See, I'll just go home and make drinks in my cantina. It's fine.
And I'd rather be at your cantina. Actually, Cabe's Oasis is Cabe's Oasis.
I mean, the drinks are pretty good. Get a lift. Come on.
Well, you've got to work on a dress.
I do. I have to work on a wedding dress. And, hug cats. Have a very busy schedule. But also, catch up on some work because I am traveling so much. The next few months and the last few months have just been... I'm kind of in a corridor of crazy right now. See you in December.
Well, no, I'm going to see you next month.
Oh, yeah. I just mean, my corridor of crazy will end in December.
Because we're going to be doing a show in Salt Lake at FanX, and we're going to be doing a live Full of Sith on stage, so at least we'll have that going, and we're going to be doing a Authentic History, and we're going to be doing some other cool panels.
Yes, that'll be super fun. I'm hoping, we'll see, that we'll have new Star Wars stuff to talk about as well, because we've been getting a trickle of information about Starfighter. Yeah,
Starfighter, we did get an image. We got some new casting. We got Amy Adams in a Star Wars movie.
Yeah, it's interesting to hear people's thoughts on that, because some people are like, I love Amy Adams. Is this going to fit? And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Who's she going to be? No idea.
No idea, but she's amazing. I've never seen her in anything and been like, oh, no, that was a bad idea. So I'm just going to trust that the people making it know that they cast Amy Adams. So
yeah.
It's Wicked. Is that what's playing?
I have no idea. I've tuned it out completely because I'm focused on you, Holly, and your voice.
Okay.
So I have no idea what that is.
I don't know what to tell you. My ADHD brain knows that that's defying gravity, even though I'm not a particularly big Wicked person. And that there's a... Yeah, I'm just always... I'm like, security. I got to make sure you're safe. So I got to check the surroundings at all times. I can tell you how many people are in our vicinity.
I have a cat like that.
It must be the best cat ever.
Winston is a great cat. He's the security guard, and he's the one who's figured out the chime on our ring. So, when he hears that, he goes to the front door and just waits to see if somebody comes in. He doesn't actually do anything about it, but he has to check it out.
You gotta make sure. So what other panels have you been doing here, though? Because I haven't seen all of your stuff.
So we did the trailers one. I've been doing a lot of workshops with Mike Stackpole for teaching writing. And then we did 20 Years of Revenge of the Sith, which was really fun. It was interesting. About 30% of the audience was not alive for Revenge of the Sith to be released.
Yeah, I mean, that was also kind of the case in our Trailer Parks one, because there were a few times where I talked about what it was like, to see various pieces of media when they first came out, and I think probably only a third or less of the people in there were like, yeah, I was there for that.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about the special editions or the original theatrical editions, and even people who were around for the original theatrical editions had no idea that there were different original theatrical editions.
Yeah, that's always a little bit of a surpriser to people. I think it's a good indicator of the way that online discourse can paint people's memories, and there's a little bit of suggestive memory there where they're like, yeah, I remember that first one, and it's like, do you? Do you? Because where did you see it? Because maybe you didn't see the one that this other person saw. So that's always fun. I always love when you spring that on people. I always like to spring on people the fact that Stuart Copeland wrote the music for the Droids cartoon, because I played that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Yeah, and that Paul Dini wrote for the Ewoks, which I'm always like, is anybody into animated Batman? Hey, guess where Paul Dini started writing for TV?
That's terrific. No, I think we've curated some good gems. I want to find some more though. I'm gonna curate some new stuff.
Yeah, somebody actually requested after you had left the C-3PO and R2 smoking PSA, so we gotta hunt that down.
I'll find that, and I've got the drunk driving cantina PSA somewhere.
Ooh, yeah, I forgot about that one. It's a good one.
Yeah, so we'll track down some more good stuff and bring that to more of these, and I like having the archive of them.
Yeah, it's good. I would say just sleep in the cantina, but Acmina kicks people out, so that won't work.
Yeah. But we kicked it off with the immunizations and the underoos, which are always great.
Yeah, super fun.
People, I'm glad we were able to get the immunizations in before it's banned in the U.S.
Me too.
Which, yeah, people were really appreciative of that PSA, and we actually had a really good discussion about what PSAs would look like today from Lucasfilm with other droids doing the PSAs.
Yeah, I said that I wanted K2 to do a new immunization one, and you said...
You're being immunized. Please do not resist. Which would be great. That's what we need.
Sure. I mean, I'm very pro-immunization, but I also am like, well, there's also bodily autonomy, and I understand that. But we also, we talked about how funny it would be to have, B2 Emo do some PSAs that would all be sad. He's like he could do the anti-littering one, and he could have a little tear rolling down his little lens. It'd be amazing. I think maybe we need to make these happen somehow.
Yeah, I mean, even if they're just fan PSAs. Yeah. And then I did the Star Wars author panel, which folks will be able to listen to next week on the show, which was, it was light this year. Mike Stackpole wasn't able to make it, but it was Timothy Zahn, Delilah Dawson, and John Jackson Miller, and it went off the rails very quickly. Delilah was Delilah.
Marvelous.
And John and Tim were along for the ride.
Great.
And it was very fun and very enlightening, and I don't know, I really enjoy those panels, and they're always very fun, and it's always great to see them every year doing that. I mean, those are three of the most consistent writers that are on those panels, and it's always great to get new folks on them, but that's who was on it this year.
Yay! Yeah, I didn't go to that.
Yeah, no.
I am tempted to get into the dealer's room like a fool.
Yeah.
It was just a long line, and I kind of felt icky and realized I was a bit dehydrated, so I left my beloved and another friend of ours to wait in line, and I went to a little lounge in a nearby, not one of the con hotels, and got some water and some protein.
And then I found you at the bar.
Yeah, I mean, I was waiting for you.
Yeah. But the reason I had to duck out of that panel was because I got to do an interview with Diana Lee Inosanto, who was the voice of Morgan Elsbeth, and, well, not just the voice. Well, I was thinking Tales of the Underworld right off the top of my head, and then I was like, wait a second, she originated the role on Mandalorian and Ahsoka, and so we got to chat in person for a little while about getting the role and how she worked with that and what she brought from the influence and teachings of her godfather, Bruce Lee.
Thank you. I told Bryan as he left to please talk about Bruce Lee.
I didn't even have to ask for it. She just brought it up, and she talked about how her fighting style is Jeet Kune Do, like he had taught her, and kind of what she brought to the roles and what styles of fighting and storytelling she did as she was working on on everything. And it was a really great conversation, and she just really loves Star Wars. So we can cue that up, and you can listen to that right now. Well, thank you for talking to me today.
Of course.
Is this your first Dragon Con?
This is my first Dragon Con.
How's Dragon Con been?
It's amazing. Seriously, people would mention Dragon Con to me, and I was like, what is it? I mean, I just assumed almost all cons are alike, but no, this one has a very distinct and separate fingerprint from the other cons I've been to, and I've been to many, so this is really cool for me.
Yeah, it's a very different con. Talking about Star Wars, which is sort of what a lot of people have been, I mean, that's obviously what I'm most excited about usually. You played Morgan Elsbeth, not just in one project, but across three.
Yeah.
You had the opportunity to originate the character in The Mandalorian and come back in animation and in Ahsoka.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if you could just tell me about watching you online and on your social media. You've been excited about Star Wars even before being a part of it, and I'm
Yes.
wondering if you could talk about that journey from being
My origin story with
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yes, it goes back to the original Star Wars when it wasn't even called A New Hope. It was just Star Wars. So I was a child, and I was in Aspen, Colorado, with my father. And Aspen was really more of a small town kind of vibe back then. And my father was doing an international martial arts seminar. People from all over came in, and then there was the town folks there, right? And there was not much to do, but there was this theater, and everybody started seeing the commercials for Star Wars. So on a Saturday night, pretty much the whole town and all the people came out for my dad's international seminar, including me, my mom, and my brother. We all went to go see Star Wars, and just when you see the scroll, I just... people started screaming. They had never heard of the music of John Williams yet. There was a vibe, the entry of, the Starship Destroyer. I mean, it was just incredible, the electricity, and I never had experienced that. I mean, the closest you get to that is maybe an amazing rock concert. So when we were done, and by the way, everybody, by the time we get to the end of Star Wars, people were jumping out of their chairs. They were screaming. It was crazy. So my dad later on would look at me as a little girl, and he goes, can you imagine, because we were going over the fight scene, because he is a martial artist, right? And he goes, can you imagine if they were able to do a fight scene with 2 lightsabers? I go, oh, yeah, And it's so funny because later on we would go back home, and then he would come across these plastic lightsabers that they used to sell at Toys R Us, and he would martial arts train me with 2 plastic lightsabers. And so it's bizarre and funny how fate works, because when I was filming The Mandalorian, I just remember being on that bridge with Dave Filoni, and George Lucas had came by that day to watch Rosario and I do our fight scene, and it just was weird, the fruition, how as a child I always daydreamed fighting a Jedi, and here I am fighting a Jedi. So yeah,
with George Lucas looking over your shoulder.
Yeah, well, George came to support Dave, because Dave was directing this episode with John, Jon Favreau obviously producing, and they discovered me. And I've been at this business for a long time, but they discovered me as an actress, which I really appreciate, because the road to get to where I am has taken decades. And I had acting training. I was involved with 2 theater companies. But on the side, to survive, I was a stunt woman and using my martial arts skills. And so my husband and I, later on, he was my partner in helping produce, and I wrote, directed, and starred in my own independent feature called The Sensei. And it was the trailer to that movie 10 years later that Dave Filoni would discover on Google. And he goes, who's this? And that's how it all started. And he had me come in and read, because my understanding is Jon Favreau was saying to Dave, let's please try to find a real authentic martial artist who could also act. So that's how they discovered me.
I'm curious about so you're a storyteller, and you're a martial artist, and you're brought into Star Wars with Dave Filoni, who is a terrific storyteller.
Yes.
And he's, having talked to Dave a whole bunch, like, he's really great at telling stories with all of the facets that he has. And martial arts is something that you can tell stories with. And I'm wondering, as a storyteller, how the fight scenes you were involved in, what sort of things you all were doing, and what you brought to that table to help tell stories that maybe we're not seeing, or maybe we're not recognizing on the screen. What stories were going on there, or what discussions about stories were going on in the martial arts that maybe we wouldn't recognize on a first viewing.
Yeah, in my particular situation, what was good is I think Dave was picking up, based when he did the research about who I was, that I was, my godfather's the late Bruce Lee, and my father's Diana Lee Inosanto, who still is instrumental in changing the martial arts world globally by sharing the diversity of martial arts that's out there in many cultures. So I think Dave had an understanding that I could pretty much do any kind of style martial arts, and one of my fortes is weaponry. So doing a spear, staff, doing sword, it's not a problem. And the good thing is they had already started vetting some of the stunt people if they had ever heard of me. And a lot of the stunt people had already studied under my father. So I had sort of an advantage, coming onto the set, and they helped groom the fight scene with my sensibilities. And of course I made little changes, and my husband and I would rehearse the fight scene for a good month. I memorized Rosario's and my fight, both of our side of the fight, and so I was ready. And I was amazed too that they allowed me also to improv when I wasn't making connection with Rosario when it came to the lightsaber Beskar spear fight. So I definitely had an advantage, and that is my wheelhouse. I was hoping to do 2 weapons myself, and I'm always ready for that. So I was really surprised when Dave explained to me, like, you're going to do a fight against a lightsaber. I'm like, but don't I need a lightsaber? He goes, no, because you're going to have the Beskar spear. So I was really amazed. But by the time I get to Ahsoka, thank goodness I had also studied in Wushu, because they got a different coordinator to explore. It was Ming Q, who's from China. And so thank goodness I had a Wushu background, so I could also adjust and make those, take good, pretty decent direction, and, do the fights that we delivered.
Did you have a preference of which you preferred, the more Wushu stuff with Ahsoka, or the spear with Mandalorian, or which was more difficult? Or
the Wushu is always difficult because I didn't know ahead of time that we were going to have a Wushu-based fight scene. So I was actually attempting to get a sword that really resembles more of a Thai sword, where you can use it almost two-hand. So I would have adjusted that a little bit, but I would say probably the Mandalorian fight is definitely more my sensibility. Even when I look at Acolyte, I go, what Manny did, I go, oh, that's my flavor, But the good thing is, part of the philosophy that I've been raised in, which is called Jeet Kune Do, which is a term my godfather coined, is you learn to adapt. And so that's always been in my wheelhouse, is to adapt to any style or system. Even in my younger years when I was a stunt woman, that's why they would call me in. So,
I just last question really quickly. I'm just wondering, what it's like seeing yourself in Star Wars at that point, going on that journey from watching it in the first place to, as a kid, to, sitting there watching you interacting with Star Wars characters and being a witch of Dathomir. And
it's surreal. I make jokes because, in a way, on my first day on the set of Mandalorian, I was almost afraid they were going to find out that I was a hardcore fan, because I was just geeking out as like a child. I'm like, I can't believe I'm here. Oh, wait, I'm here to get paid and do my job. But yeah, it's very surreal. And even more so because the night that my episode aired was during COVID, and we were on lockdown. So your mind mentally goes, did I really just do this? Did I really participate in this universe? And the night it aired was pretty special, and I'll never forget it. And the fans are amazing. And I'm just forever thankful to the Lucasfilm family.
Thank you so much for talking to me, and you're in good company with all those fans. I mean, Dave Filoni is exactly one of those two where he thought it was a joke.
Yeah.
Getting called in there.
Yeah, I thought it was a joke too. That's what Dave and I both talk about. Like, come on, is somebody punking me? What's going on? You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Oh, lovely to chat with you.
Likewise. So yeah, that was a great conversation.
Yeah, marvelous. What a charmer.
Yeah, no, she's great. So what's next? You're just you're done with Dragon Con after this?
Yeah, I have a dinner date here at the show, and then I'm going to go home and sew.
So this will be the quickest Dragon Con for a long time for you.
Yeah, I've never just done one day, but it really has been kind of a grueling couple of months. And like I said, I have a couple more where it's just I'm traveling a lot. I have a lot on my plate. So, sorry, Dragon Con.
No, it's okay. I've got a couple more Star Wars panels that hopefully will get on the feed. I'm doing tomorrow 50 Years of ILM.
Amazing.
With Fawn Davis, with Matthew Wood,
Nice.
and with Henry Gilroy.
Perfect.
And that's going to be a lot of fun. And I've also got, I don't know, it's the 15th anniversary of Daniel, who's one of the fixtures of trivia here. Him doing trivia, and somehow they're doing some 15th anniversary special, and they've conned me and Alex, Damon from Star Wars Explained into doing some sort of all Jar Jar trivia.
Oh my.
I don't know what that's going to look like or what it is, but we're doing that tomorrow, so I'll let everybody know next time we get together what that's going to be like. What?
I just think that's fascinating. Like, is there enough?
He said he's put together enough Jar Jar trivia over the last 15 years that he's cobbled it together.
Great. Can't wait.
I'm curious to see how it goes because I don't
record it because I want to hear it.
I'll try to, yeah. Like even if I just record it on my phone, we'll see how it goes. But
Great.
I think everybody's just going to have a good time. I've always avoided the trivia here, not because I'm like afraid of trivia or anything. It's just I'm really busy at these shows.
Yeah.
And B, I don't necessarily feel like I have anything to prove or anything. It's not how I have fun with Star Wars.
Yeah, I choke at trivia. Everything I know about Star Wars will literally leave my body the second someone asks me a question.
I remember that when we did Family Feud.
I literally couldn't remember what noise a gonk made, for heaven's sakes.
It's gonk.
I know that.
Well, now.
I know it all the time, but not in those 5 minutes. I was wearing a gonk necklace. It wasn't that I just couldn't think of another noise that a droid made, as I literally held and played with the gonk charm on my necklace.
Gonk.
Gonk.
Yeah.
Sad.
So we'll see how that goes. I'm curious to see how that goes, and I'm teaching some more classes tomorrow, so we'll see.
Nice.
Tomorrow should be another busy day, and then I'm zipping off back home.
Yay.
So Dragon Con's been a bit of a whirlwind. It's been a different Dragon Con because I'm exhausted right now because the hotel I'm staying at, someone spent all night pulling the fire alarm.
That's Dragon Con for you.
I mean, everybody keeps saying that, but I've never had that happen to me before.
Oh, it's happened in other hotels for sure. And I think it happened today here at the Marriott while we were eating lunch. We kept hearing what sounded like an alert and an alarm sound, but because it's Dragon Con and there's so much noise bleed everywhere, we couldn't tell what the alert was saying, so...
It was just playing Careless Whisper.
I mean, I wish. Listen, that saxophone dude, he needs to be careful because my husband hates it. And he came into the bar where we were eating and played
Today?
it right behind my
Today?
husband. Yes.
Oh, no.
It was like, yeah, my very gentle, kind, wonderful husband.
Because I haven't heard him at all this year.
He's here. Look out. He's like a ninja. He'll just appear, start playing that one riff on his saxophone. It could happen at any moment.
He's behind me, isn't he?
I'm pleased to report the answer is no.
Wow. But yeah, no, I'm tired. I hope they find the person who did it and break every one of their fingers. Not that I wish violence on anyone, but I hope that
Maybe they could just tape them together in some way.
And then hit them with hammers.
Or like put oven mitts on them. You know, tape them up, put some oven mitts on them. Maybe give them a paraffin treatment while they're doing it. So it's not really a punishment, but a deterrent.
I don't understand why you'd pull a fire. Well, they're probably really drunk. It started at about 3 a.m.
Drunk plus mischievous is a very dangerous and oddly energetic combination.
Yeah. Man, no, I am tired. And hopefully there should be some other surprises on the feed coming up, and hopefully there's one right now.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning. You are sitting here like it's Congress or something, boy. How's everyone doing? Good?
Doing
Great.
great.
How about you? Back to back. It's been fun.
I'm gonna
The hot seat, innit?
just point out certain people. Go.
I'm just wondering, what would it take to get you to come back and headline like a Star Wars movie?
That's not in my hands. It's funny people ask me that as if I'm the owner of a big studio.
Well, no, I mean, like,
if I was, you know what I mean, we would all be in the movie.
What would you want to come back?
I'm not sure. No idea.
No idea.
Good writing is always what actors look for. We look for good writing, a fulfilled character, a lovely arc. But that would be the same for any role. So if it's that, who knows?
Okay. Thank you.
Go ahead. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Being a British actor,
Hmm.
which role would you like to be in? Either Doctor Who or James Bond?
I'm not really too fast, to be honest with you. I remember years ago I wanted to just do a little one episode of Doctor Who because David Tennant is my favorite Doctor. So if I know they go across dimensions and stuff like that. So if I was, just to come in and do a little cameo, I used to say that would be fun. So I'm nothing. Most of the roles I like are actually American. They have the best scripts. Yeah. I mean, it's the biggest industry film-wise in the world. There's more variety. There's more range. So I like the roles and scripts that I read are more, on the Hollywood side. Yeah.
How do you navigate your mental health, the ups and downs of your various projects?
I don't really know, I don't know. I know that I haven't suffered, from what I've heard, or what I've experienced with people, colleagues that have been next to me. Everybody's different in terms of what they can take. But I'm Nigerian. You guys are from Atlanta. You know how Nigerians roll. Are you paying or not? You know what I mean? And if it is in provision of my family, in provision of some friends and all of that, I feel like there's nothing yet that has broken this. I mean, you get punched up a little bit and certain things upset you and stuff like that. But in retrospect, as time moves on, so far I've been healing quite nice, and I spend time with. I have a very normal life, to be fair. When I'm not at events or at a premiere or a movie's out, everything kind of just dies down, and I'm taking out the trash as usual,
There was a lot of racially charged reactions online when you were cast, and people like Moses Ingram, went through similar stuff during Kenobi. Do you feel like Lucasfilm has gotten better at reacting to that and protecting the okay?
No idea. No, I haven't worked for them in a minute, so I don't know.
Yeah, don't worry about them. Sorry.
Okay.
Who has not gotten to go yet? I'm sorry. Okay, Moana Nui.
Sure.
So I'd like to ask you, how do you feel about, the idea of representation in the industry, and specifically when young kids of color look at you, what do you want them to see?
I want young kids of color to see when they look at me.
Yeah, on screen.
I don't have the mental for that. I don't think about stuff like that. I don't live my life like that either.
I think that you should look to take care of yourself and look to fulfill whatever you want to fulfill, and whatever your fruits are, then people will see it for whoever you are. But to pre-plan or to premeditate, you know, what do I want the young kids to see? I mean, the best you can do is live your life, you know, and keep the good morals and stay chill, and then hopefully people recognize that in you, and then you want me to say, you know, anything. So as long as it's positive, I'm cool.
So that's
Full of surprises.
yeah. So then, where can people find you, Holly? Other than your sewing room.
I mean, whoosh, for real. You can find me on Blue Sky. I'm just Holly Frey. You can find me on Instagram as SurlyGirly5. Stuff you missed in history class keeps on trucking. You can also find me on the History Channel on The Unbelievable with Dan Aykroyd. And another show that doesn't have a name yet that's coming out, I'm not sure when.
For me, you can find me at swankmotron.com or at swankmotron across social media, mainly Blue Sky and Instagram. As far as that goes, I will be at Salt Lake Comic-Con, or Salt Lake FanX, soon. Okay, they're closing this floor for an event, so... Yeah, you can't find me on the 10th floor of the Marriott anymore. But Full of Sith, go to fullofsith.com, listen to the entire back catalog of episodes, and that's it for this DragonCon. So, for super producer Mike Pilot, for Holly Frey, I'm Brian Young, and the Force will be with you, always.
Sir, if you'll not be meeting me, I'll close down for a while.